Hello and welcome back to the Deep Roots Podcast. I'm John Gurton, your host, and thanks again to Tom in the Spring Arbor Studios for having us in here. We are excited to be here today with an alum and also staff person here at Spring Arbor, Andrew Phelps. Andrew, can you tell me a little bit about yourself? Briefly share your experience as a student here, what your major was, what you're doing now, what brought you back to Spring Arbor.
Absolutely. So my name is Andrew Phelps. I'm the Associate Director of Annual Giving here at Spring Arbor University. I am a 2021 graduate. So I just recently surpassed my third year in my current role.
Congrats.
With the Advancement Office, which is very exciting. Thank you. And yeah, my journey is a little typical, but also a little atypical. I had a great experience here at Spring Arbor. Ultimately, when I decided on Spring Arbor, did not think that this is where I was going to end up. But I was kind of determined to get to the big city after high school.
Okay.
Wanted to go to school in Chicago and had my sights set on there. But my parents said, well, the deal is you can do that, but you have to apply to at least one in-state school as well. I was like, fine. I didn't really know. I didn't have any ideas of around here. So my mom had graduated from the Kalamazoo site of Spring Arbor when it was Spring Arbor College. And so that I knew the name. And that's about all I knew at the time. So I applied. I came for a visit. And it was that visit that was like, oh, all right, maybe I need to think about this a little bit deeper. So kind of that, you hear that a lot from students that come here or alum that talk about their journey. Came back for a second visit, and it really was that time on campus that solidified that this is where I need to be. This is where I need to go. So started my 4 years in 2017. Came in as a biology major, graduated as a biology major.
And you're now
a
scientist.
Not working in the biology field. But I loved my time. I loved my experience in the science department. I loved my professors, my classmates, and I still love science deeply. After I graduated, I spent a little bit of time working for Henry Ford, and it was a great experience. I learned a lot, but I also learned that that's probably not where I want to be for the rest of my life. So the Lord worked in incredible ways during that season post-graduation of giving me a really cool experience, but also shutting that door on the medical field and saying, I think I have something different for you, and led me back to Spring Arbor. And so I began hearing little whisperings of this job that was going to be open, and I had a few people reach out. And this all happened, it was crazy, in the span of like a week. I had 3 or 4 people reach out and say, hey, this job is open. We think you'd be really good for it. And then my current boss reached out and was like, hey, your name's come up for this. Would you be interested in talking about what that could look like? And I was like, all right. I think he's up to something. I think he's trying to tell me something. So I applied and I got it. And now we're here just over 3 years, which is crazy.
That's great. So what does your job in the advancement office entail? What do you do?
Yeah, it's kind of not many people, you hear advancement and you're like, what is that? So advancement is our fundraising area of campus, our fundraising office. And so my specific role oversees our annual fund, with the purpose of that being raising funds for student scholarships and for some of our key programs here on Spring Arbor's campus. So many folks are familiar with CORE, cross-cultural, our awesome radio program. Spiritual Life is a huge one. All of those things are impacted by the Arbor Fund in some way. And so I have the joy and the honor to be able to build relationships and connect with people, to put on incredible events here on campus and off campus that bring in the funds for our students.
And that's really why we wanted to talk on the podcast, was one of those specific events. It is probably the biggest event that you do, I would guess, for this specific Arbor Fund. There are other events that you do, but for the Arbor Fund and raising funds, Give Day is the event that we're going to be focusing on. And just in a few days, not from this recording, but from when this is put out there, we will be having Give Day.
Yes, we will.
And we are very excited for it. So I'm going to start right off the top with, what is it? What is Give Day? Why is it important to SAU?
Yeah, so it's certainly our longest event that we do, because it's a whole day of giving. It's 24 hours where we say, hey, let's celebrate who we are as Spring Arbor University. Let's come together, alumni, friends, community members, staff, faculty, students. We all come together and we say, hey, we have a big goal that we want to reach, and it all benefits the Arbor Fund at the end of the day, our annual fund. And let's see what we can do.
Mm-hmm.
And so the past couple of years, this one that we have coming up is just our third one. So we've only done it for a couple of years now. And we've seen great success each year. We have community buy-in, and it's tons of fun. We get people out here on campus. We're playing games. We're having educational opportunities to learn what an annual fund does, what the Arbor Fund does specifically here at Spring Arbor. And it's a great opportunity just to learn about philanthropy, but also to be able to give back and impact the students and all of those here on campus.
Okay. So what are the main goals? You said this is the third year, so we have different goals every year. What are the main goals for Give Day this year, and what kind of impact are you hoping for as a result?
Yeah, so this year, the big number that we're going for is $100,000. So we've gotten close to that the last couple of years. We've seen, like I said, tremendous growth and great support from our community. And we think this is a very reachable and attainable goal. And, we hope that we can even surpass that. But $100,000 is our big goal for this year.
Okay.
And so this impacts students and a lot of different ways, mostly through the scholarships. So 90% of our students receive some sort of aid from the Arbor Fund. And so all of this, it's going directly back to them and helping them to be able to afford their Spring Arbor education. It's just a reality. Higher ed is not cheap.
No, it's not.
And whatever scholarships are available and opportunities for aid and assistance, we want to provide that for students. And so this goal helps to be able to do some of that.
I mean, I was a PK and we didn't have money. I mean, we're pastors' kids, but my brother, my sister, and I all came to Spring Arbor. And if it weren't for things like the Arbor Fund and scholarships, there's absolutely no way we could have gone to a four-year university and graduated and stayed here and all that. So I've been directly impacted by that as well. Are there any specific examples you can give us of who directly benefits from Give Day? Have you heard stories, or do you know of stories? We've interviewed students and staff and faculty and the deans, and we know some of those stories. Can you share maybe an example or two of that to our audience?
Absolutely. So because Give Day is still a little bit newer, we're still seeing some of that impact and hearing some of those stories, but just the impact of the Arbor Fund, one of the stories that comes to the top of my mind is one of my very dear friends, Jubilee Jackson. She's been in different interviews before, and we've heard from her, and she's just a very dear friend of mine. We served on student government together when we were here at Spring Arbor, but her story is very unique. She grew up with a lot of siblings, and when she was trying to pick where to go to school, she was just trying to figure out all the finances and all that, and she was able to come to Spring Arbor and attend Spring Arbor and graduate from Spring Arbor with less debt than one of her siblings who actually went to a state school, which was really cool to see. And she's doing great things now over in the Detroit area, and recently married and gonna have a kid soon, which is really great.
That's exciting.
So always cool to see our alum and especially dear friends of mine go on and do things like that. But yeah, she's always one of the ones that comes to mind when I think of a direct impact of the Arbor Fund.
Yeah, and there are countless stories of students, alumni, people who are directly impacted by your giving. And Give Day is kind of that moment where we're like, we're going to push to do as much as we can to celebrate what we can offer here at Spring Arbor and make an impact on not only current students, but future students, prospective students, because without that giving, they might not even consider Spring Arbor.
That's right.
And I just heard a story the other day, I can't remember who it was, who said, I didn't think I could come here until I did the research and then started to get the funds and realized, I can make this happen.
Yeah.
And I think that's so cool. Like once you take that step of faith and God provides over and over again.
He does.
And he provides through his people, through alumni here, through those that are giving.
Yes.
That's how God is working, is sometimes through his people. And I think that's pretty awesome.
And I have to give a shout out. It's not just our area too. It's our admissions team.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how great our admissions team is, but they really, really work hard to ensure that our students are getting the best packages available.
Yeah.
And trying to make it work for them. So definitely a shout out to all of those that are making it possible for our students to come here.
Yeah, for sure. Going back to Give Day, what makes it unique? What are some of maybe the fun elements? Or like you said, you do a lot of events through the year. This is the longest event, other than it being a 24-hour push.
Yeah.
How is it unique?
Well, I definitely see this event. It's unique in the fact that we probably see the most like overlap of all different spheres spheres
Okay.
come together on this day. So we see, retirees come back and help with the day. We see our students are very involved during, while they're passing through on their way to class. They want to be playing the games. They want to earn the unique swag items that we can offer on that day. Our faculty and staff are incredibly involved as well, which is a ton of fun.
Yeah.
Because people venture out of their offices and then come and hang out on the plaza for a little bit, because that's where, we just bring everyone together in one central location. It's also unique because we do bring Chick-fil-A to campus.
I was going to say, you're missing an important thing, Andrew.
It's one of the favorite pieces of the day.
Yeah.
And well, now that we have one in Jackson, I hope it's still unique that we do that. Because we don't have one here on campus. So that makes it,
it's Jesus chicken. It's unique.
It is. It's blessed. It is very blessed.
Yeah.
And so that part draws a lot of people out as well. It's different.
Yeah.
It's something fun. In the morning, we bring in, Big B and Vito's and some of our local donuts. And so we start the morning off with a lot of fun. Student government brings out Saved by the Bagel. So that's something that students recognize. So they come out for that. But again, we have some of those unique swag items that students can't get every day. And they have an opportunity, and staff and faculty to have an opportunity to come and get some of those throughout the day.
Yeah, and I will commend you. I think you've done a really good job of not just making this like a phone-a-thon event. You've made it interactive. You've made it something that is a celebration of Spring Arbor.
Well, thank you.
And we're raising funds at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like this hand-in-hand thing, but it's not just like a money grab. It's definitely like we are celebrating who we are. We're telling stories on our social media pages. Throughout the day, you're going to hear from students, alumni, deans, all of these different people who are talking about the impact Spring Arbor has made. And it's thanks to you for putting all of this together behind the scenes. It takes a lot of work, and I get to be, alongside you with some of the video work, but it is a really cool day. Hopefully, by then, Michigan will decide to have good weather because most of this is outside. There was one year where it was raining pretty good.
Our very first year, we had to jam pack everything into the Aspen room because the weather was not cooperating.
Yeah.
But last year, it was
gorgeous.
Yes, it was incredible. It was sunny. It was warm, and that's what we're hoping for again this year. So pray with us.
And we have some great footage from last year of Blue the Cougar. And I don't know if the mascot from Chick-fil-A has a name, the cow.
I hope so.
But that was fun to watch them play together, literally run around the plaza together and throw the ball.
They're throwing the football.
Yeah, that was fun.
I liked that one.
Yeah.
That was good.
Which also was great for the students. They loved it. And we're getting pictures and stuff like that.
It was fun to see President Ellis and Mrs. Ellis with them too. Yep. They got some really cool photos.
Yeah. All right. How can alumni and listeners participate in Give Day, which is April 25th? Want to make sure we say that.
Yes.
Beyond just donating, obviously we want them to donate. What other ways are they able to engage?
Yes, we would love a gift. And if you do give, there's opportunities to get some of our unique swag that we've been talking about. But other ways, first, just share everything. So like you had mentioned, we've been working on some really cool social media things.
Yeah.
We've been putting together some incredible videos highlighting our staff, our faculty, our students, our alumni, and we're really excited to share those. And that's a huge piece that anybody can participate in.
Yeah.
So we already have some of that posted on our socials. We've kind of been doing a rollout of some of our Give Day things. So hit up the pages, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. We're there, and just share about what we're doing. Share those stories, because it's fun to get those out there and just to talk about how Spring Arbor is moving in the lives of people. So that's a huge piece. Word of mouth is a great way as well. And just come to campus. This is not closed to those who are just on campus.
Yeah.
We welcome anybody on that day. So between 11 and 1 is when our lunchtime is. So feel free to come out. But we'll be on the plaza from 9 to 2, 9 to 3, something like that. And anybody is welcome to come and just hang out and be on campus. Come check out. If you haven't been in a while, come back and check out all the updates that we've had. We're in the midst of an update right now with the construction of Whiteman Gibbs.
Yep. And you will see it that day.
And you will see it. Yes. So it is very obvious.
Yeah.
But, that's exciting to see some of these cool changes that are coming and updates that are needed and necessary. But yeah, just come on down. Participate in that way.
Okay. What would you say to someone who's wondering if their small gift is going to make an impact? If they're thinking, what's the point in me even giving if it's really not going to make a difference?
That's a great question, and one that, I grapple with a lot in my role.
Yeah.
And that's all year round.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it really comes down to every little bit helps.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what the size of the gift is.
Yeah.
It all goes back to help our students. One more dollar from our generous donors, our generous friends and family is one less dollar that our students have to pay or work for. And so truly every little bit, no matter what size the gift is, whether it's $1, $5, $10, $100, whatever it is, it makes a difference.
Yeah, and it reminds me of the story of the loaves and 2 fish in the Bible. That little boy brought what he had.
Absolutely.
And he didn't know how it was going to be used. But not only did it feed 5,000 men, but it says there were 5,000 men and their families there, fed all of them, and then they had 12 baskets left over.
I love that
So
story.
who knows what God is going to do with your $5 donation? Whatever it could be, that $5 could be the thing that puts us over the top for our 100,000 goal. It could be the thing that offers an opportunity for a student who's saying, I can't afford Spring Arbor, to afford it, to come here, to get a Christian education. So we can't kind of put a confine or a box around what God might do. Just give and see what happens and see how God provides. I think that's a really poignant biblical narrative that still is applicable to our daily lives.
Absolutely. And that's part of the reason, I love my job so much. And I love getting to say that I love what I do. I love my job. And it's because of narratives like that where we can say, we give what we can, and the Lord's going to use that, and He's going to use it in incredible ways.
Yeah.
And every day I see how the Lord multiplies everything that comes in, and He provides in all these incredible ways.
Yeah. So as an alum, we're both alums.
Yes.
Why is alumni support, like through Give Day, meaningful to you?
It's an excellent question. Number one, it just shows that, we support and we want to see those who are where we once were.
Yeah.
We want to see them thrive just as much as we did and we are. And, it's not always a perfect experience, but we can continue to make it better for those who are here now and for those prospective students as well, and continue to offer them, the unique Christ-centered education that we receive here at Spring Arbor University.
Yeah, I think it's a testament to Spring Arbor. If you were to go around campus and talk to staff and faculty, how many of them are alumni? How many of them want to come back and be a part of this still? You and I included in that.
Yeah.
And I think it's important for our listeners and maybe prospective people to understand that when you get to experience what Spring Arbor is about and allow the Lord to move in you and change you, it's something that you look back on not only fondly, but also with like a respect, a reverence of like God did something great and He'll continue to do something great if we can rely on Him.
Yes.
And I think Pastor Lane yesterday spoke in chapel and he reminded us this is a Christian university. We should be challenged. We should be following after God.
Yes.
And we can't just settle into letting the time pass. Those 4 years are so pivotal to our students.
Yes.
And we as alumni coming back to work here get to be a part of that for those students to recognize how I was impacted. Now I get to impact these students as well.
Absolutely.
It's really important. And your giving as alumni allows us the opportunity to do that and affords the opportunity for students to be here, to be a part of that.
Absolutely. And it just, again, it goes back to, it doesn't matter the size of the gift, whether you're a brand new grad who's just starting your first job or you've been out 50 years, whatever you can give, it's incredible and it's a blessing. And we appreciate that.
Yeah. And I'll say too, I think our school has done a good job of not shoving it down your throat. When you graduate, you don't immediately get now that you've graduated, give us your money again. And you're like, I don't even have a job, you know? So along those lines though, for alumni who just simply can't afford to give financially right now, what other ways can they support SAU or Give Day?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's just a reality, coming out of college, you got to find that first job. You kind of got to build up a little bit before. And we recognize it and that's okay. And that's why there are so many other ways for somebody to give back.
Okay.
And if it's Spring Arbor, that's great. And if it's other places, that's great too. I mean, we want to educate about philanthropy and about giving back in general. But other ways to give back to Spring Arbor specifically would be come back and visit. Talk about your experience or share about your experience and just share about the school. And, if you have kids in your hometown that are wondering where to go to school, promote Spring Arbor there.
Yeah.
Come back to campus and speak in a class. Talk about what your experience has been like finding a job or landing your first, big kid job, anything like that. So we love just the gift of time as well and talent. And so if you have something unique to offer that you're like, hey, I think I could, help make this a better experience for our students in this way, we want to hear that. We love that and we appreciate that. Because reality is we don't have a large staff here. So we are always accepting help as well. And we appreciate when, especially if an alum comes back and is offering that.
Yeah, I think two other things too is to share your story. Number one, 100%. We, especially in the marketing department, we want to hear your story. If you've been an alum, you've moved on, you've done something and you feel like, I want to share how Spring Arbor impacted me and where I'm at now, please tell us. We would love to let others know because that makes a direct impact on students who are searching for somewhere to go. They see the stories of how God moved in you. Secondly, a funny story, Field, coworker of mine, his sons are going to a summer camp at a different university. It's hosted at a different university. So he has been telling us that he is only going to pack Spring Arbor gear for his kids.
Let's go.
So that the whole week, everybody knows there is a place called Spring Arbor University. So just kind of a funny thing, but we also can wear the gear, support Spring Arbor, put on your baseball cap, put on your Spring Arbor shirt, your sweatshirt. People will ask because it's alarming to me how many people in Michigan don't even know we exist. And they'll ask that question and be like, well, where's Spring Arbor?
Right.
And, you have those conversations all the time. Yeah. And we continue to grow. And how many people have even said to me, I saw your guys' billboard the other day, and how cool it is to see that we're expanding, we're growing, even though we've been here 150 years, still unknown in many areas. But the more you can broadcast who we are verbally, also with what you wear, all that kind of stuff makes an impact.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just sharing your story of the transformation that took place while you were here. Those are the kinds of stories that we love. We love any story, but those moments of impact, those moments of transformation. We know that they're out there, and they're so cool to hear.
Yeah.
And the other thing I will say too is just if there's any updates at any time that we want to hear about those, whether they're life milestones, new job, or baby, or getting married, like any of those, we want to know those things because we want to celebrate with our family, with our alum. We want to connect and we want to say congratulations, or even if it's an address change or even something as small as a phone number and email address, just so we can better stay in touch with you and let you know of all the cool things that we have going on.
Yeah.
We'll take all those.
Brian Knapp would really appreciate that. He's in charge of our alumni and puts out the P-Loop email to people and puts together alumni events. They're going to a Tigers game. Make sure that you're aware of that because there's really cool things that are offered to our alumni.
Yeah.
All right. So what's the best way for our listeners to learn more about Give Day and get involved on April 25th, whether that's website or social media? How can they learn more and all that?
Socials are definitely a way to go. Yeah. So we've been posting for a couple of months now on there, and you can get to all of the links through those social media platforms.
And our social media is at Spring Arbor U. So Spring Arbor and the letter U across all platforms is at Spring Arbor U.
It's because we got Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, X, YouTube.
And TikTok.
Yep. Visit all those. Check it all out. But the other way is just go to springarbor.edu/giveday, and that's going to have our overview of the day. It's going to have information about how to give, where to give, and updates throughout the day as we go as well. And then that'll be the landing page for any gifts for that day as well. So if you want to give, springarbor.edu/giveday.
Okay. And the week leading up to Give Day on April 25th, starting on Monday, there will be video releases every day. And then the day of, there will be a ton of videos and different posts and everything. And we want you to be on there, aware of it, because it's really fun, but it's also engaging, dynamic stories that are told. Starting that Monday, is this podcast. The thing we're recording right now will be the first video. And then we'll have some more videos coming out. A really fun video on Wednesday, which is kind of a What is Give Day video. Last year was kind of a take on an old Disney goofy how to play baseball type thing. But What is Give Day? That was fun. This year's very different, but also really fun.
So cool.
So we're looking forward to that. As we wrap up, any final thoughts on Give Day and why supporting SAU matters?
Yeah. Well, and this is just for fun. We're starting something new this year. For any Spring Arbor alum, you're going to know or recognize or remember the Spring Arbor squirrels, right? They're everywhere.
Yep.
They cross your feet when you're walking the sidewalk. They're jumping out of the trash can, scaring you, whatever. You recognize the Spring Arbor squirrels. We have a unique program this year that we're starting on Give Day, our Spring Arbor Adopt a Squirrel program. So if you make a gift and
we will ship you a squirrel.
We will ship you almost. We'll ship you a certificate of a squirrel.
Yeah.
And you can choose the name, and you can feel free to name it whatever you would like. But you can have your very own Spring Arbor squirrel at home, because that's just kind of fun. So it's kind of cool. Bringing a little piece of Spring Arbor to home with you.
And there's a select few that will have a golden ticket, and we will show up at your door with a live squirrel for you to feed in your living room.
Yes.
I just made that part up.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a fun thing.
Might have to do that now.
Yeah. So any other thoughts about Give Day?
Yes. Just in advance, just want to say thank you to all of those who participate in the day. It's your participation that makes the day fun. It's your participation that makes this day successful. And we're just really looking forward to seeing how God moves on this day, because he's behind it all. One part of the day that we really try to promote too is just the educational piece of philanthropy and giving back. Why give back? Yeah. One of the biggest reasons, we hear it all throughout a lot of the videos that we do is we're called to give back, and we certainly are. That's laid out in Scripture for us. We see so many examples of it. We see examples of giving time, talent, and treasure. All three of those. It's not just one of those. And so anybody can give back with their time, with their gifts, or with their finances. Yeah. And we appreciate that, and we recognize that, and we just want to let people know that really does make a difference. It makes a difference in the lives of our students. It makes the difference of our alumni, of the faculty and staff that are here. And so thank you in advance. And we're excited to see what happens.
Yeah. Well, thanks for joining us. And again, Give Day is April 25th.
Yes.
Follow us on all of our socials at Spring Arbor U, and be sure to check in on our website, springarbor.edu/giveday.
Yes.
And we are so grateful to Andrew and the time that he spends on this particular event and all events across campus that deal with that.
And thank you.
And we've got things coming up, evening at the Arbor. We've got Give Day right after that. And then commencement is coming. It's crazy how quick this semester has gone.
This next couple weeks is going to go quick.
Yeah, but we are in kind of like crunch mode, and then we'll be in celebration mode for the last couple weeks here on campus. But we're excited to have you join us, and thank you for watching this episode, and continue to join us here on the Deep Roots podcast. Thank you so much.